Okay, so we saw that if we also use negation, we can write an equivalent to any conditional that instead of a conditional uses a disjunction. That is an or statement. So what is the equivalent using disjunction to if P then Q? What we're really asking is, which disjunction puts the false in the second row? Well, if we have P or Q, we want to look at these two columns. That's false when P and Q are both false, and true the rest of the time. That's not the one we're looking for. When we have not P or Q, we want to look at the not P column and the Q column. And again, that or is false when not P is false and Q is also false, and true the rest of the time. Oh, I think that that's what we want, right? Here's our false in the second row. Just to make sure, let's check the other two. P or not Q, we want to look at these two columns, and that's going to be false when P and not Q are both false, and true the rest of the time. And then not P or not Q, that's going to be false when both of those are false, and true the rest of the time. So we see that the statement that's equivalent to if P then Q is our not P or Q. And that makes sense. This statement is false when P is true and Q is false. And this statement is false when not P is false and Q is false. And of course, saying not P is false and saying P is true, well, those are really the same thing. Not P is false, P is true, same thing. So this is really what we would expect. We see that if P then Q is equivalent to not P or Q. And this equivalence has a name. It's called conditional exchange. We're exchanging a conditional for a disjunction, which we like better. Or we can exchange a disjunction for a conditional, which might somehow make more sense in some circumstance. So, what does this actually mean when instead of looking at squiggly lines like this, we actually look at a real statement? So here's a conditional phrased in one of those weird ways we sometimes phrase conditionals, where I'm saying, I will cook dinner only if I have enough time. So our two simple statements are, I cook dinner, we'll call that P, and I have enough time. So our original statement, I will cook dinner only if I have enough time. Remember, only if introduces the then part. So our original statement, I will cook dinner, P, then Q. P only if Q is the same as P then Q. And if P then Q is equivalent to not P or Q. That's the conditional exchange we just saw. So if P is I cook dinner, not P is I don't cook dinner, or I will not cook dinner, or I have enough time. Okay, that is a weird sounding statement in English, but we can make sense of it. The reason that using or there sounds weird in English is because the first part is what's expected to be true if we say something like this. And when the first part is expected to be true, well, then we have a different word than or that we use for the same logical structure. A more natural way to phrase this sentence in English is, I will not cook dinner unless I have enough time. Now, by symbolizing this with truth tables, we've already observed that unless means the same thing as or from a logical standpoint. But there's a shade of meaning that's carried by the English that's not part of the logic about, which part we expect to be true. And I think we do see that I will cook dinner only if I have enough time, and I will not cook dinner unless I have enough time. Those sentences really do carry very much the same meaning. They're giving us information probably about why I'm not going to cook dinner, namely not having enough time.